All right, so you got your seal up here. One rides against your seal, one rides against your upper bushing, and then in between. Again, though, you still have a flat edge and a round edge. Your flat edge still goes up on both of them.
Okay.
So you got your flat edge that rides against your seal with a bevel or rounded. It's not really beveled, but it's kind of got a different feel to it.
Right on the bottom.
And then you want your flat one against that as well. So your flat edge goes up on both of them. You can feel it, but you may not be able to see that difference. So all this can just slide right off the top. I'm gonna set it down here and the parts down. And then we'll put some, same as we did before. Clean this out a little bit just to get the old oil. Yeah, and this sits down there by itself. That old oil was keeping that in there until I got it clean. And this will just sit down in the bottom. There we go. And that's it. Just to get all that old oxidation and stuff off, and just because it makes it look nice. Yeah, this one feels nice and smooth.
All right.
Same as the other one. I didn't feel nothing. Now there's a procedure where you're supposed to be able to put these down on something. You get a micrometer and you roll them to make sure there's no bend or anything in there. But Chris ain't never hit nothing or run over nobody that he tells us about anyway.
Right. So we already know that's good.
Yeah, we know they good. They ain't bent. They ain't got no problems. Now if you hit something, like I did on mine, I hit a pothole before, and that's what blew my seal out.
It blew it out instantly?
It didn't go instantly, but I knew that's what it caused it because I just replaced them earlier. So if you hit something, sometimes that'll happen. If you hit something real hard, it'll do that. So I took and checked mine pretty close. I got a mic, and I laid them out on a flat edge, and I rolled a mic down there with it, a dial indicator, and checked to see if they were out, and they were still flat. They were still true, I should say. They were still straight.
Okay.
All right. It don't take too much.
Dusty getting it nice and smooth with that 2000 grit sandpaper.
Now, it don't tell you to do this in the manual. I think it just says clean it. It might say steel wool. I don't even know if it tells you to do anything with it, but that's that little extra bit. 2000 grit sandpaper is your friend with this stuff. Alright, now we're gonna feel that. Oh yeah. And then that pretties it up and gets all the old oxidation off from your clamps and everything else. It's like a lightsaber. It's ready to go.
Alright.
And we're gonna put on the new bits and pieces. And those bushings, the old ones look pretty good.
And right now Dustin is working on the right side bushings.
See, it's got a little bit on the inside worn. But look pretty good.
They say if one fork seal goes, you might as well do the other.
That's right.
Do the
You're
other
gonna
side.
rebuild one, rebuild the other.
All right.
All nice right
Lower
there.
bushing on.
Upper bushing. We got our dust seals and everything for this side. Brand new dust seal there.
Now those washers go on before
Yep,
you put the
they
seal.
go. I was checking this one. I had a little bit of something in there.
Okay.
I don't know if that's from the packaging or what, but make sure the inside of that seal is clean or you'll wind up with another little leak. That's why it's good to have these gloves. You can get that oil in there. That looks pretty good. All right. And we grab our assemblies here. And again, your flat edges go to the top. You can see that it's rounded. But
Right.
both of those on. Yep, that feels good. You see that it's clean. It gets all that oil, so you know it's sealing pretty good. Again, you just get that.
So Dustin, tell us about the first time you ever replaced fork seals.
Let's see, the very first time I ever did it was on my GL 1500. I bought it used. I think it had about 50 or 60,000 miles on it. Same as seems like every bike I get comes with about 50 or 60 on it. And it started leaking on me, so I had to tear it apart. And I had never done it before, didn't know anything about it, at least on a Goldwing. And pulled that all apart. Had a tool for that, which was different than this. This one, because this kit has a smaller one, the GL 1500 has smaller fork tube, so it won't work. So if you got a tool for GL 1500, you're gonna have to get a tool for another one. And that was a long time ago. I've done them on, I think that was the very first one I did. Somebody always had the other one done for me. Now, when you got this one, the seal, same as the other side, make sure that the numbers and letters face up, so you can see that spring on the top. It's got a large opening at the bottom. No, large one goes to the bottom.
Okay.
So that's the bottom right there. It's easier because I always put the numbers in the little divots at the top, so there's no divots in the bottom.
Right. So you know which way numbers at the top, large opening at the bottom.
Slide that down on there, nice and easy. And get it pushed in there with your fingers.
Come back with your driver tool.
Hold that so it sets down in there. There we go. There it goes. Nice and tight. That one drove down pretty easy.
Push down the retainer clip.
Retainer clip. Make sure it's seated. And I always come back and just give it a couple of taps. Make sure it's seated all the way in there. And that's it. See, nice and seated. Everything looks good.
Excellent.
Actually, it don't look seated. Hit that one again. It looks like it's popped on that side a little bit. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There it is. Yep, everything is seated. You see it's down in there. Don't come back out. Good to go. All right, let me take this and put this in your vise. And now you put your 6mm back in with your tube. Slide that back down in there. Set that at 15 foot-pounds, which is about right there.
And Dustin's gonna check the 15 foot-pound with the fancy smashy torque setting wrench.
12, 13, 14, and 15. There we go.
All right, 15.
Now, let's got that set. Another bolt. Alright. And we'll put your spring in.
Alright, spring.
Take up your space. I usually try and check it. It's going to sit. I can't get it in there. Let's leave that. I like to use that to take up some extra space, but I guess it's not enough to matter. If you go by fluid, you can do it that way. With this one, pour some in there. Then we're going to get this damper. Pump this damper a few times.
Alright.
Because you got to get that pumped up because it's. There we go. And it'll get, once you got fluid in it, it just gets harder to pull up. That's what keeps your wheels from hopping up and down. The spring is your compression.
Right.
This is your rebound. It fights against the spring and makes sure it don't push it down too fast. In the desert racing world, compression and rebound is important when you're going over the whoops and things like that. If it rebounds back too fast, it makes your bike bounce up. It'll do the same thing on a street bike. If it pushed it back down too fast, you would just be bouncing up and down all the time. It wouldn't do what it's supposed to do. There we go. It's got plenty in there. All the rest of that down in there. This has a little bit, but not as much as the dampening rod does. The dampening rod does most of your work. And then again, we will set this at 5 inches. Put down there, and you can't do it with the spring in place. So do it this way. Let's see if it'll draw anything out. There it goes, draw a little bit out.
Once you hear that sound, you know you're at the end of the.
That's right. Now you at 5 inches. Pull enough oil out, then put in your spring. Put that side down, your compressed side down. Then, oh wait, sorry. Draw a little bit much out. I got carried away. You get to pull this up first. There we go. Then you put your spring in. There we go. Then your washer that rides on top of that. And your spacer on top of that.
Spring, washer, spacer.
Then you come up in here. You put this on.
Screw back the top cap. And that's a 14 millimeter on the bottom.
Alright. You gotta get this, you gotta push that spring down to get up.
To get up under
14.
that. To get the 14 underneath. Tighten that back down.
There we go. That's good and tight.
There we go. O-ring is good.
Yep, check, make sure you go in nice and even. Get them twisty on me now.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? Your boy Chris out on the Goldwing. Out doing a test ride on the Honda Goldwing. Got the fork seals rebuilt. Appreciate my man Wagon coming out.
Yo.
What's going on, Wagon?
Same old, man. Anytime, I'll be glad to help out.
Yeah,
Glad to help you out. As
Appreciate
soon as I saw your video on having them fork seals, I was ready to go.
Man, you did a good job. I tell you, that's a lot of work.
But it ain't terribly bad. Once you get used to it, it ain't so bad.
But nothing like being able to work on your own bike. That saves a lot of time, a lot of money.
Man, I'm telling you, when you said 4 to 6 weeks just to get it into the dealership, man, I hurt my feelings right there because I know they're gonna keep it for another 3 or 4 after that.
That's about
They're
a month.
they'll find some reason for keeping it longer.
That's about a couple months, isn't it?
Yep, you'd have been 2 months getting that done.
Yeah. So we out here now doing a test ride. Wagon heading back. Fixing to head back south. Gonna jump on this 269. We're gonna go off with the left lane in Wagon.
All right. Man, that Can-Am trailer sure looks good from back here.
Thank you, Wagon. I appreciate it.
All them lights. Yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah,
Pulling nice and straight. Everything look good.
Yeah, it looks like you got about 100,000 candle power back there. 100 million candle power.
See, what about if I turn my little, how about that? That better?
Oh, no, you good. You good.
Still looks bright. Well, I'm just wondering, because I get flashed quite a bit. See, there's my high beams now. They're a little brighter. See, you cut them on, then you got... And what's funny, I don't know about anybody else out there that has LED lights, but when people ride with the LEDs, you get different types of people. You get the person that's going to flash you from a long ways off.
They have over there, Dustin.
And then they're going to let you go. And then you get the person that's going to get right up on you and just turn their lights on. Like, that's going to help you get your stuff off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Black Betty.
She rolling.
Black Betty looking good there with Wagon.
Yeah, now see, that's the other thing, but people don't know. You can turn on the turn signal. See, my whole side flashes when I turn the turn signals on.
Oh, yeah,
the
I see
whole
that.
side.
I see that.
I like that. Then it hit the brakes, the whole thing will turn red. Yeah.
Sound real good.
Makes it a little bit safer. Yeah, yours looking good, man. Looking good. Always real clean.